Hello and welcome everybody to the Study in Germany presentation. Difficult task for me because the presentation just about Finland I think was really wonderful. And what can you offer if you had the happiest country in the world presenting right before you? I actually thought the happiest country in the world was Indonesia, but okay, obviously Finland, and what to explore. So let's come to a completely different country, Germany. My name is Guido Schnieders and I'm the head of the EHEF office in Jakarta. EHEF, yeah, it's also in the presentation. And I'm happy to give you some ideas on studying in Germany. Here, yeah, some facts about Germany. You heard about Germany already, I guess. Germany is particularly famous since a very long time for famous inventions, and some inventions, some things you use every day are actually invented in Germany. Like you might read books, not every day anymore. The automobile, the X-ray, aspirin, toothpaste, television, scanner, MP3 player. Germany is since long time a country of invention, and Germany is a country of famous companies. Made in Germany is a sign for high quality. Especially strong we are in engineering, and many successful companies in Germany are engineering companies. And this is interesting for you because one of the things that is characteristic and specific for higher education in Germany is that the universities closely cooperate with the industry. Geography, we have a population of 83 million. We are growing international, about 10 million foreign citizens, about 5.5 million Muslim. Islam is a part of Germany, and Germany has a infrastructure, an infrastructure that enables you to have a Muslim life. You have halal supermarkets and mosques and praying rooms in the heart of Europe, and the climate is it's a bit fresher than in Indonesia, and the air is better than in Jakarta. I don't want to criticize, but the air is definitely better than in Jakarta. So in Germany, we have 14% international students at our universities. Most of them come from China, India and Syria, but the number of students from China and India are not as dominant as in the Anglo-Saxon world. In the UK, US and Australia, China and India makes up for well over 60% of the international students. In Germany, for the universities, it is important to have diversity. They don't want study programs, 20 people, 8 of them Chinese, 8 of them Indians, but more diversity. And we have a constantly rising number of Indonesian students. Also in the times of the pandemic, there was no change. Now it's 5,900 something Indonesian students in Germany. Yeah, now briefly, just one slide about my organization, the DAAD, the German Academic Exchange Service. We have an office in Jakarta, we run a booth over there, and we offer consultation and advice on studying in Germany. You can come to us, take part on our online info sessions, give us a call, write us an email. Very important for you to know, we are not an agency, we are non-profit. You cannot give us money, we cannot take your money. We are completely financed by the German government, and so consultation at DAAD is consultation in the interest of the German universities and in your interest. We do not earn more money if we send more of you to Germany, and we don't get less money if less of you go to Germany. So we are going to tell you what's the right thing for you. Yeah, we have more than offices in more than 60 countries, and we are also a funding organization. We offer scholarships, and 779 Indonesians, short-term and long-term. Wow, I didn't know. That is quite a number. Yeah, let me come to the question, why study in Germany? Very briefly, 5 reasons. Most importantly, the high quality. The high international reputation. Germany is world leading in many fields of studies. Best known, of course, engineering, like I think 40%, 45%, no, it was 55, of the Indonesians studying in Germany study engineering. It's kind of linked. We are good in other subjects as well, but very certainly a degree from Germany has a very high international reputation on international labor markets. If you study in Germany, you don't need to know German. We have about 1,600 study programs completely in English, especially master courses. There's a lot of offers, I think 1,200 or something, master courses in English, PhD in all subjects in which the language of research is English. You can do your PhD in English. That means all technology subjects, all sciences, economy, like psychology. Yeah, if you do a PhD in German literature, it's going to be difficult without German. But for master and PhD, no problem. In bachelor, the offer is less regard of English language programs. I think it's just 200. So for studying, you don't need to know German. But if you want to stay in Germany for work, then of course German is in the set. Then it's an advantage. And third, I already briefly mentioned it, Germany is pretty famous for close cooperation between universities and industry. Practice-oriented studies. In many countries of the world, that's the problem. The graduates are like good in theory, but the companies cannot really do much with them. They have to train them anew because they don't know practice. In Germany, this is already since a long time differently organized. We have a type of university that is especially good in this practice-oriented orientation in the cooperation with the industry. So also that is very relevant for labor market. Affordability. Living in Germany is affordable. It is of course more expensive than in Indonesia, but compared in international comparison, quite affordable. And in many universities you have no fees or low fees, and it's a pretty safe country and a fun country. We have a relatively low criminality rate, a pretty good health system, and of course great culture and leisure time offers. You can very certainly enjoy yourself in Germany. The German university system. I think that the most important message here is actually that, is there a pointer? Oh yeah, that's great. The most important message here is that bachelor in Germany usually is 3 or 3.5 years, 6 to 7 semesters. So that's different from Indonesia and different from the Anglo-Saxon system, where the bachelor usually is 4 years, and the master is 1.5 or 2 years. We have no 1-year master. If you find one, then this is a rare exception. but usually master studies in Germany are 1.5 or 2 years, so that is a difference. And yeah, PhD is 3 to 4 years. Different types of higher education institutions. I would like to be brief on this. Universities are universities usually with the full spectrum of studies, comprehensive universities as you know them. Special for Germany is this University of Applied Sciences. These universities are particularly closely cooperating with the industry. They are smaller because they are decentralized, they are often in the countryside, close to the industry. And the industry is not in the middle of the big cities, but it's like outside the big cities. They are more family-like and closely work with the local industry. It is important to know that when it comes to international rankings, then these universities, they shine in international ranking. The University of Applied Science, for various reasons, you will not really find in international rankings. I'm not going to bore you with details and criticism of international rankings and so on. International rankings are basically done by the Anglo-Saxon system, and they are made to promote the Anglo-Saxon system. So they don't fit German universities. We actually don't care because we think that these University of Applied Sciences, they have a very important role in the fact that the world is buying German products for their high quality. We think that our education system is closely linked to that, and we are one of the strongest countries in the world when it comes to exports, and that's the ranking we are interested in. So if you want to go for a rather academic scientific career, if you want to teach at a university, if you want to make a PhD, then university is the right choice for you. If you want to be able to do a job, a highly qualified job, you might consider University of Applied Science. I skipped the colleges of arts and music, and here I only mention that in Germany we have no or low tuition fees in public universities, and we have far more than 90% of our students in public universities. So we have private universities, they charge tuition fees, nothing wrong with this, you can choose them. One of them is here, the Jacobs University, they offer special services, but in Germany it's the majority of the universities do not charge tuition fees or very low. I come to studying in Germany, and the most important sources. My Guide is one of the websites. You only need to remember 2 or 3 websites to start your journey to Germany, and My Guide is very good in searching for study programs. Very convenient, you can save your search and so on. And also leave your data and get proposals if you want. If you particularly look for international programs, then it's these websites. They offer programs conducted in English, and as you can see, 2,100 programs available. That's not only degree programs is 1,600. PhD not counted. PhD not really counted. And this website, study-in-germany.de. There's also ample information on Germany, on Lifestyles Germany, so it's like general information on Germany and why it's so nice, and on cities, and this is like for, if you look for study programs, and this is if you already apply for visa, book the flight ticket, the information. And here also you can look, they also have in this part here, they have a database where you can look for study programs in Germany. The database is always the same. You don't need to, it's just the surface is different. So this would be your starting points, your possible starting points. And again, my guide, okay, I was a bit late when I prepared the presentation yesterday. And okay, now we come to admission. If you are a student in school and you want to go for bachelor studies to Germany, then with SMR and SMK you need to do a preparatory course. That means you need to go to a Studienkolleg, a preparatory Studienkolleg, and that is usually conducted in German language. That means here you would be required to learn German at the Goethe Institute, for example, or in a private school, and then you can go to Studienkolleg. It takes 1 year for a preparatory course, and then you can study in Germany. So this path, actually many Indonesians go it. This path, here is one colleague who has gone this path. Vicky here is later at the DAD booth. If you have questions, she has done it, the Studienkolleg, and then bachelor studies in Germany in German. This is like you quite spend the time of your life in Germany, and maybe if you think about all this effort of learning German, maybe the information is interesting to you that everybody who graduated from a German university is entitled to stay in Germany and work. So it is possible to get a work permit and get some valuable work experience in Germany as well. And of course the wages in Germany are better than here. So that is for bachelor studies. If you want to know details, you can go to www.dad.de admission. There is a database on admission, whether you are eligible. It's like questions, guides you through the process. Anabin, this website in German. I think it's also available in English now. It's the same information because admission is based on Anabin, but Anabin is kind of very bureaucratic, and I have difficulties to understand the German version, so you better try admission. Here is Studienkolleg. You can do the Studienkolleg in Germany, or you can also do it in Indonesia. There is a Studienkolleg in Indonesia, here in Jakarta, which is operating since more than 20 years, very successful, preparing students to study in Germany. German language skills, if you want to study in German language, then you need certain examinations like the test stuff. The test stuff is the German version of the TOEFL, and German language learning is possible in the Goethe Institute in Jakarta, Bandung, and in Surabaya. It's linked to Goethe, and of course in private schools. Usually you have to go to Studienkolleg, so you need like maybe 5 or 6 months German language course before you can go to Studienkolleg. Is that realistic, Vicky? How long you learn German until you go to Studienkolleg? Yeah, like half a year before you go to Studienkolleg. For master, there's a lot of offers in English, and if you find a suitable bachelor program in English, formally you don't need German. It's of course recommendable, but if you find a program taught in English, you don't need German. Deadlines usually are July 15 and January 15. to German universities. On application, you find all information you need on the website of the study program. German universities are state-financed but autonomous. It's a very interesting thing in Germany. It's explicitly the policy. The state provides money for the universities, but the state does not tell the universities what to do. So that's also a very successful idea, because scientists have to be innovative, scientists have to be creative, and if you tell people who are supposed to be innovative and creative, if you tell them what to do, there goes your innovation. So, 15 July, 15 January, sometimes also earlier. And all the information you need on application is on the website of your course, because it might differ. Yeah? Some might say we take a test before or a motivation letter, some don't. It's not that a big variety, but and also the date might change, but the details on application you find on the website of the program of your choice. I'm certainly not talking about visa here. All the information on visa, if you're already in that stage, are on the website of the German embassy in Jakarta. Think about the visa early, because you need to apply for an appointment, and that takes 4 to 6 weeks. If you get the appointment, and then you can submit your application, and then it takes 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks until you get your visa. So do not wait until you have all your documents, admission letter, and then you apply for an appointment, because that is already late. You need to find out when can I expect the admission letter, and then book an appointment before. So a little bit of planning is involved in studying abroad. Financing, no tuition fees. The only in-state universities, no tuition fees. The only exception is the federal state of Baden-Württemberg. There they charge 1,500 euro per semester. I think there's a bit of rise now. 1,500 euro per semester per 6 months is, in international comparison, a joke. If you compare it to UK, Australia or the US. And in most universities, no tuition fees. Semester contribution, there is a semester fee which you pay, but you get a public transport ticket. For students, it's free if you pay this, and that means this is half a year all transport costs paid. Quite often in a much larger area than only the town in which you study, and the living costs in Germany are roughly 950 euro. Of course, it depends. In attractive big cities, 950 euros is tight. In small places in the countryside, where there's not much leisure time offer, not many cinemas and bars, you get a lot with less money. Okay, scholarships. You have many organizations offering scholarships, and for undergrads, for bachelor studies, there are significantly less scholarships, and all your dreams may come true under www.funding-guide.de. This is the scholarship database of DAAD, but you have also scholarship offers from other organizations, not only from DAAD. But if you think about scholarships, bear in mind that in the Anglo-Saxon countries, in the UK, Australia, the US, the notion scholarship often means a reduction in tuition fees. So scholarship means you pay 20% less tuition fees. Yeah, you know that from shopping mall, from shops. It's called sale. Yeah, 20% off on everything. So this is in the Anglo-Saxon world a scholarship. So if you think about it that way, in Germany, everybody gets a scholarship because you don't pay tuition fees. These scholarships would mean it's your living expenses. Okay, and anybody interested in doctoral programs? You all look so young. Okay, there's one, two. Okay, very briefly, PhD in Germany, as I said, all subjects in which the international scientific discourse is in English, you can do your PhD in English. So that's a lot of subjects. And we have two ways for a PhD in Germany. One is like 80-85%, so the clear majority is the individual, actually it's not doctoral program, I should change this in the presentation. It's the individual doctorate, that means one supervisor and you, maximum freedom, because everything you do is just a question of negotiation between you and your supervisor, maximum freedom of your research, you can work independently. The disadvantage is, it is a psychological endeavor, not only in Germany, but everywhere, because you need to organize yourself and you have to have your self-discipline. So doing a PhD is also a psychological challenge everywhere. And in the structured program, you have more help. It's a program with a certain structure, and you participate in a group's work. It is not complete freedom in the topic you choose and what you do. But there is support from the group, from fellow PhD students and from supervising staff, and quite often these graduate schools are in English. These structured programs you also find in the databases of courses, which I mentioned. 10 minutes to go? Oh, good, wow, that's nice. Then we have also time for some Q&A. You also find that in the international database. The individual PhD, of course, is not in the database. Yeah, job and career after studying. During your studies, you are allowed to work. It is 120 full days or 240 half days. I mean, that's really a lot. 120 full days is actually almost 6 months. So you are allowed to work as a student, and of course it would be very, very wonderful if you can find a student's job, a part-time job that is in relation to your field of studies. That would be great. So being a tutor at a university or a mentor at the university, or if you study IT, you know, you go to a company and do some mending of the computers there. That would be great. Of course, many students also like work as waiters, like this nice guy here, yeah? Like that. But before you now get really, really happy, minimum wage in Germany is 12 euro, so that is equivalent to 180,000 rupiah per hour. But before you now get really happy and yeah, I can go to Germany without money and work, studying in Germany is a challenge. We are hard workers in Germany, and very certainly studying in Germany requires a 40-hour week and sometimes more. And it's like you can work, yeah, but it's limited. So you need some funds. You cannot really earn all the time, all the money. You need to live in Germany and study successfully. So if you want to be successful, you need to bring some money from home. You need some sources of income. But yes, especially after the first year, because I mean, you need some time to get around and find your way to university and get oriented. You don't start studying on the first day, but like in your second year or something, it is well possible that you earn some money and release some of the financial burden on your parents or sponsor. I already mentioned, after graduation, you may stay in Germany and look for a qualified job, and that means after graduation you get a visa extension, if you like, for 18 months, and if you find a job that is like matching your academic degree, you can stay, and if not, the visa expires. And a website on all information on our the lot of information you need for a start on working in Germany is Make It in Germany, a very inviting organization. We have in Germany, that's maybe the background, you might be surprised to hear that, but we have a luck in professionals in many fields, like nurses, but also in academic fields. We actually have a lack of engineers and IT personnel. So if you think about studying computer science, and if you would be prepared to stay in Germany and work there, you have pretty good chances to get a job. In other subjects, of course, as well, but particularly engineering and computer sciences, there is a high demand. More information, of course, outside in our booth today and tomorrow, and then it's www.myguide.de/en. It's www.study-in-germany.de. It is in the design of my presentation. There is other pages on Study in Germany. One is, I think, studyingermany.org. That is a private company from Southern Europe with not always correct information. So the right page is the design of this presentation. Scholarship database www.funding-guide.de, and the international programs. And that's it. Thank you very much. Our office is in the Gedungsmikmas, and our website is www.daad.id. You just Google DAD Indonesia and then you find us. And thank you very much. I have to apologize that my presentation was less nice than the presentation of Finland before, but what can you do right after the happiest country in the world? Thank you very much. Do we have time for some questions, actually? Yeah, we have...
Especially for you, okay.
Sorry?
Especially for you, you can have extra time.
Oh, we can do it till tomorrow, because I mean, we have the last...
Tomorrow there will be no extra time, so better today.
Okay, good. So we have, it's the last presentation of the day, please. You. Ah, okay.
Hi, Sidam. Ich bin Francis. I have a question. Actually, in Deutschland. Es tut mir leid, ich bin vergessen. Für Studenten und Studentinnen in Deutschland ist der Kosten wirklich teuer oder billig? I mean, does student or male and female student live in Germany, is it actually expensive, or is it all, I was forgot, is it expensive or it was helped by the government? I think your answer, thank you.
So the question was finances. Living in Germany is about, the government officially says that you need at least 950 euros per month. That is, for the first year when you apply for visa, you need to prove that you have 10,000 something, 10,300 or whatever euro for the first year, and that is about, at the moment, 155 million rupiahs. Whether that's expensive or not, I leave it to your judgment, but it is realistic. Yeah, you can have it cheaper, you can work and then you need less money, but if you, for example, go to Munich, 950 euro is tight. So it depends, but if you go to the countryside, you can get along quite well with that money. And as I said, there is not many scholarship offers for undergrads, and you can work, but I think it's realistic to assume that in the first year you need to find your way, you need to start your studies and focus on that, it's like rather nobody forbids you from working in the first year, but you have to plan realistically so that you can find a job and earn some money, not all of the money you need in the second year. More questions?
Two more questions.
Two more questions now, okay?
It's probably, hi, I'm sorry. It's probably not a question or like a confirmation. Is there going to be like a link available to this presentation? Because we would love to have that.
Olivia, can we share the presentation somehow? Olivia?
Unfortunately, no, because of our logos and difference of our logos. That you can have more information via our website www.study-en-germany.com.
Can we not have the presentation on our website or something?
Website at dad.id and www.study-en-germany.com.
Yeah. Okay, so you can go to the Study in Germany website. We will put something like this presentation on our website. Honestly, I'm new. I arrived half a year ago, and we have stuff change in DAD. So our website at the moment, our DAD website, it is functioning and it gives the information, but I'm not entirely happy. And we will give the information very systematically on the website as well very soon. One question that was already have the mic.
I was already participate in so-called Ausbildungs program, so I've been 3 years in Germany before. Is it still required to participate in Student Connect if I already have a prior knowledge of German?
You have been 2 years in Germany, and
Is it still necessary if
and you have been in school in Germany, or what have you done in Germany?
Ausbildung?
Ausbildung. That is a different path. Yes, you have an SMR or SMK? SMR. SMR and then Ausbildung in Germany. Yeah. There is, I think it is still necessary to go to Studienkolleg because vocational training in Germany and academia is actually two different pillars. I think I go too far if I try to explain it now, but Germany is very famous also for its vocational education and envied by many countries. We have the so-called dual education, which means that 50% of the cohort of a year, 50% of the people go to university and 50% they do vocational education, and this vocational education is done by the industry. So in Indonesia, the equivalent would be the D1, D2, D3 courses, the diploma courses, which is happening pretty far away from the industry. In Germany, actually, this vocational education, this is always when I try to explain the system, it's very difficult for people to understand. It is 70% done in the companies, and the companies pay these young people. They actually work as apprentices, and 30% is school. And this system is very different, very separated from academic system, different from Indonesia, but very relevant for, I mean, the vocational education is very relevant to the labor market because the companies themselves train young people.
One more question.
One more question. Wow. Okay. Any females? Only young men asking a question. Okay. Yes. Any daring?
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wido. Is it correct?
Not the sir. I'm not the. It's okay.
Okay. Short question. Actually, I just want to get advice. I was graduating from International Relations or Social Science. International Relations. So this is my major.
Yes.
Bachelor major.
Yeah.
But currently I work for Japanese corporate bank. So I try to check some of booth here, especially German university too. To be honest, I'm quite dilemma for my situation. I mean, I got international relations bachelor degree, but in other hand, as I work for Japanese corporate bank currently, I love finance too. So I try to get information about the qualification, but mostly university in German too, they are not allowed for people like us who want to pursue master degree to have finance if we have different background. So I'm just want to get any advice for people like us.
You want to do a master
In finance?
Like
Yeah, why
an
not?
MBA in finance?
Yes. But actually, my bachelor degree is international relations. So yeah.
But that should, to my experience, not be a problem. So, thank you very much. In Germany, usually study programs like bachelor, master are consecutive. I mean, in most of the countries, actually, they are. Yeah? You cannot have a master in IT if your bachelor is in Spanish, yeah? Because you don't fulfill the requirements. So, there is of course exceptions, and sometimes with some professional experience and so on, there can be non-consecutive master courses. The only exception where very often a master in a different subject is possible is an MBA. Yeah? You can do engineering, have some work experience, and then as you raise in your company, you do an MBA because you have to do more organizational stuff. That is completely normal, and you have MBA in management of whatever, renewables, technique, and so on. And you also have MBA in finance, and I'm really a bit surprised that your experience is that it's not possible because international relation is should be possible to have an MBA in finance or any MBA, especially if you have work experience in a bank. But we can also, I can talk with you about sources where to look later on. That was like a general answer. Yes, you can do. It's quite normal to do an MBA after you studied a completely different subject, because it's also logical. Yeah? When you raise in your company, you are maybe not like every day like engineering cars anymore, but you rose up then with management skills. Okay, I think that now the lady doesn't allow any question anymore, and thanks a lot for allowing me some, and thank you very much for your time on a Saturday afternoon, and we'd be happy to see you all in Germany.
Gracias.